Hey, this is DeAndre Ford, and you're listening to Worship Radio International.
Good morning, all of my Saturday morning connectors. I am Linda Hunt. For those of you that are watching for the first time, welcome. I am so happy to have you be a part of my listening and viewing audience today. This is the Marketplace Connection. And we are so excited about what God is doing. We thank God for this season that we're in of growth and expansion. And we're just so excited. And we're excited not only for what He is doing in us, but we're excited for what He is doing in you and what He is going to do in you. This is a season of growth. This is a season of expansion. And we're just glad to be able to be a part of it. And so I just thank you for getting up on Saturday mornings, for those of you that have been with me for the past 4 years now. And so we just thank God for you. So we want you to tell a neighbor, tell a friend that the Marketplace Connection is on the air. What is the Marketplace Connection? It's connecting you to the marketplace and connecting the marketplace to you. There are so many gifts and so many talents that are out there in the marketplace. And what we want to do is we want to be able to bring those gifts, to bring those talents to you, that you can be inspired to know that there is a gift in you that has been latent, that has been hidden, that has been dormant. And it is time. This is the time. This is the season. So we just thank you that if you get up every morning at 11 a.m., I promise you, I will have something here that will speak to you and speak to your life. So today, I have a wonderful guest. I have Miss Shar, or Shar.
Yep, Shar.
Shar.
Yes.
We call her Shar for short. Shar Halliburton. And we welcome you to the Marketplace Connection.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, amen. We're so excited to have you here. We're excited about what's going on in your life. We're excited about your gifts and your talents that are now on display with some of the books that we're going to be talking about today. And so we just want you to stay tuned. As I said before, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. The Marketplace Connection is on the air, and you're going to hear some things that I believe that is going to be a real blessing to your life, that is going to be a real motivation to your life, to get you to do some of the things that you've probably been dreaming about. So we're going to be talking about skyrocket your success. All right, you heard that. Skyrocket it. We're not talking about slow walking. We're talking about skyrocketing. Accelerating.
Yes.
That's right. We're talking about you getting out there and just going full steam ahead. It is that time. It's that season. Amen. Things are moving. I'm telling you, we are in such an accelerated time.
Yes, we
are. I mean, I feel it with all that is within me, that we are in such an accelerated time. Things are moving. Time is moving faster than it ever seemed before, because look like your birthdays come quicker than they ever came before.
Right. Every year, it's just like, it gets here faster and faster.
I'm telling you. So we are in an accelerated season. So this book, Skyrocket Your Success, is a book that I believe every person needs to have. And we're going to be talking about those 10 keys to refocus, reposition, and reclaim your purpose. All right? I'm going to say that one time. 10 keys to refocus, reposition, and reclaim your purpose. There's a purpose for you. So Amen. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, and then we're going to get right into, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Shar, and we're going to get right into our broadcast, and then we have some other things that we're going to talk about. Another book that she has. It's a Kindle book, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it's a Kindle version. We'll talk a little bit about that towards the end as well, and I believe that this is the one that I know that everybody, I call it the big P. And so you got to stay to here. So I'm not even going to tell you what it's all about. What is the big P? I'm not going to even tell you. You got to stay to the end of the broadcast to find out what the big P is all about, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that towards the end of the broadcast, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about Shar. While many neglect to follow their dreams due to setbacks like procrastination, fear, and lack of resources, she uses those very things as stepping stones to her success. For Shar Halliburton, CEO and founder of Shar Detroit Publishing, LLC, her greatest success to date has come from living outside of the box and operating in her God-given gifts and purpose. Did you hear that? her God-given gifts and purpose. And she encourages others to do the same. In addition to producing her fair share of personal literary works, she works diligently to provide tools, resources, and motivation for new authors nationwide, positioning them to tell their stories in excellence and excel in the marketplace. Oh, I love that. To excel in the marketplace. We on the marketplace connection.
Right.
And so you'll find a little bit about Shar, her working 22 years in the corporate world. And I mean, this girl has an extensive bio of the various places she has worked in. I'm telling you, she has had a lot of different places that she has worked at in different capacities. So we'll talk a little bit about that because there's too much to talk about because we want to get into the broadcast. So so like I say, you stay tuned. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. The Marketplace Connection is on the air. So, Shar,
Yes.
we are going to get right into our interview today. So, you have a very diverse background and have worked 22 years in the corporate world, corporate America, in every field of education, insurance, real estate, construction, sales, public relations.
Yes.
You got me beat.
I can't believe all the different, my thing was I wasn't afraid to try different things.
Okay.
I graduated from Michigan State with a degree in communication arts.
Okay.
But when I jumped into the workforce, I did a little bit in PR when I initially started, but I got laid off from my job.
Okay.
And so I was thrown off.
Okay.
Because, I went to school with communications to say, okay, this is what I want to do PR.
Right.
But I ended up being laid off, and then I needed a job, so I started teaching in Southfield Public Schools for a couple of years. And after a couple of years, summertime came. After teaching, I needed a job, so I started, it's not even on here, car sales. I was a car salesperson at Mail Fire.
Oh, me too.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
Which
for 15
location?
years. I worked at Southfield Chrysler. I sold Chryslers, and I started out selling Subarus.
Okay.
And then I went to Chryslers for 12 years. I did Subaru for 3, so I had 15 years. Yeah.
So great. And then that's how I got into insurance.
Okay.
I'm currently still working in insurance right now. I'm working at Health Alliance Plan.
Okay.
And I'm an insurance agent for individual and family plans.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I've been in insurance. I've been licensed for 19 years.
Okay.
In insurance. So, but yeah, I have a very interesting background.
Yes, you do. Very diverse.
Yes.
So is sales kind of primarily or customer service? Which one would you say you probably?
I would say hand in hand with both sales and customer service because customer service is a part of sales.
Amen.
To be an excellent salesperson, you have to have excellent customer service skills.
Yes.
So they go hand in hand.
Okay. All right. And so you're not currently working in any of those fields right now?
Yeah, I'm an insurance agent.
Oh, you're an insurance agency. Okay,
yeah, that's
good.
my 9 to 5.
That's your 9 to 5. Okay.
So I call myself insurance agent by day and self-published author by night.
Okay.
So I have 2 roles right now.
So you can do 2 of them. Okay.
Yes.
You can start out a lot of times, and that's one of the things I think that holds people back is because of the fact that they're still working.
Yes.
And they feel like I don't have enough time. But you find time for things that either you want to do or you like to do or you need to do, okay?
Exactly.
And sometimes you do things out of need.
Yes.
Because you need that extra income. And a lot of times, doing things like writing, books and being an author and some of the other things, that we'll talk about as well. Sometimes it's just out of a need that, hey, I need another stream of income.
Yes.
And so, multiple streams of income. I am definitely a person that believes in multiple streams of income that we all need to, even if you got a 9 to 5.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
You need to have some other means and ways because no 9 to 5 is a job that you can really just say that I'm going to be here for, the next 5-10 years. You don't know.
Right. You never know with this economy.
That's it.
You may go in one day, everything's great. The next day.
Come on. and I know it, it happened to me during the, course of the time when, I don't know if you were in car sales at that time, but during, when the economy dipped, 2009, I lost my job, but I had to find some other means and ways of being able to take care of myself. So,
Right.
those gifts that you have within you, those passions that you have within you, those are the things that you need to tap into in this season, in this hour. So when it's time, you can always have something else to fall back on.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's so essential to have something else to fall back on because, like I said, like you just said, the economy is ever changing.
That's right.
You need to be able to tap into something immediately.
That's right. That's right.
To make some money.
And not only
take
is
care
the
of yourself.
economy just changing, but as far as jobs and opportunities.
Yes.
And we're in a technical society now. Everything is techie. Everything is, you need to know technology. So for some of the jobs that you might have had 10 years ago, they're outdated. Some of those companies aren't even around.
That's correct.
So you have to always either be evolving and changing and not being stuck in one pattern, or either you need to say, hey, I need to refresh myself in some areas. I need to either go back to school, I need to take a course, I need to hook up with somebody that is doing some things. And there's other things that you can do in terms of, even if you do have a job, you can still be an entrepreneur by, multi-level marketing.
Yes.
You can do that on the side. I've done that before while I was working and selling cars. I've done some multi-level marketing. So there's all kind of ways that you can have other streams of income. Being an author, and we're going to talk about that. And the word for that is called authorpreneur.
Yes.
Okay?
Authorpreneur.
That's right. That's a new term now, an authorpreneur. So that means that you're an entrepreneur and an author at the same time. Okay.
Correct.
So after working those various positions in corporate America, you saw that it was a need and a time for a shift. So tell us how you knew that.
Okay, so for years, I've always kept feeling a push to pursue my personal dreams and goals. Since I was a little girl, I always knew that I was going to write a book. I just didn't know when.
Okay.
So as I got older, like when I was in high school, I worked for the school newspaper, and I always loved English. That was always my favorite subject, English and math.
Okay.
So I always loved to write. So when I got to college, I studied communications, and I was, have a lot of writing there.
Okay.
And then I fell in love with PR. But when I got into corporate America, I went through, all those different jobs, I stopped writing. And I felt like something was missing. And I would just feel a push to do it. So 2008, that's when I first started writing my first book.
Okay.
I started writing a book. This is a novel. I'm almost done with this one now.
Okay.
It was a novel, and I got stumped. I started writing the first 8 chapters, and then all of a sudden, I started second guessing myself. And so that kind of pushed me back and made me delay finishing the book. And so years would go by, and every now and then I would get a nudge. But then I started having trouble sleeping at night because there was a push for me to do what I was called to do, and I kept ignoring it. I just kept ignoring it, saying, okay, I'll get to it later. And as I kept saying I'll get to it later, my hair was getting grayer, I was getting older, and I was feeling empty because I was not doing what I was called to do.
Right.
So I had to submit and surrender to what, God was telling me to do. So I had to just push myself into purpose. And it was a difficult thing, fighting inner kind of thing,
Yes.
It's feeling like
That
do
inner,
this, but then
that
you
inner
just keep,
intuition,
yes,
that inner voice. That's it.
Yes. So I had to just start moving forward, you know, in the goals and dreams that I've had.
Yeah. And that happens because when there is something, and I'm telling you, people, when there is something that God has that he wants you to do, because no one can do what you're called to do. I can't do it. You can't do it. Whatever it is, there is a plan, and the word of God tells us, he said, I know the plans that I have for you, and that they are good and not evil. They're good things. And so I can bring you to that expected end. So sometimes some of the things that God is putting on our plate, that is, as you said, that nudge, or that feeling that that you're empty, there's something missing, there's a puzzle piece, I haven't tapped into it yet. And until you do it, you won't have any rest.
You won't.
Because your arms is too short to fight with God, okay? They're too short to box with God.
That's right.
And so you might as well give in to the plans and the purposes of God, because even if you don't do it, trust me, somebody else will. I've heard so many people say, I had that idea and I didn't do it.
That happened to me so many times.
Oh my goodness!
I even had nudges to do conferences, women's conferences, and I just wouldn't do it. My sister and I, we would talk about it, get the plans, in motion, and then all of a sudden something would happen to distract me, But if you don't do it, somebody else will do it.
That's it.
Because if God can't, if you can't give in to the purpose that he has for you, he's going to get someone else to do it until you're ready.
That's right. Okay? Absolutely.
It's not going to just wait like, okay, this idea, no one's going to move on it. He's going to get that idea to somebody else.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
That has happened to so many people that I talk to, and they tell me, I had this idea and I saw whoever it was that created it, and now, it was what God gave me. I mean, it could be anything. So don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise those small things that you think that nobody else needs, nobody else is paying attention to it, nobody else wants it. Don't despise that. Write it down, pray about it, talk to somebody else about it, and if you need help, seek help. And that's a lot of times what people don't do.
Right.
Is that we don't reach out for help with someone that can possibly give us or put us on that right path.
Right.
Give us that right, that right connection sometimes.
Exactly.
Because, that is part of my purpose. I'm a connector. And so I believe God gives me information. Yes. That's why the Marketplace Connection came about. I was not intending on doing what I do. Wow. I'm a salesperson like you, okay? And I came here with the thought in mind of being able to sell the broadcast, sell, the radio network space, advertising, all of that kind of stuff. And I had no idea about sitting behind a mic. That wasn't what I was called to do. I like one-on-one, sitting across the desk, and after about maybe 3 or 4 months of being here, and my CEO and the other administrator and the founder of the company, and they kept worrying me about, you need a broadcast. What do I need a broadcast for? I'm a salesperson. You need money. I'm here to help you sell. And so here I am. But because of what I knew that God had inside of me, what I wanted to bring to the listening and viewing audience was about really people getting up and getting into their plans and purposes, and particularly people inside the 4 walls of the church. Yes. That is really my niche. That's who I'm called to and called for. So, so those are some of the things, like I said, whatever it is that you feel a nudge about, call, and we'll give you Shar's number as the broadcast goes on. We'll talk about some of those things, and maybe you can call her, you can call me, whatever it is, and let's get those things going. Okay.
Man.
So you started your company, Shar Detroit Publishing, in 2017, and you said you just weren't seeking to start a database of clientele. Explain what you meant about that.
Okay, so I illegally established Shar Detroit Publishing in April of 2017. Okay, and at that time, I was so busy. I was working full time. I was in school. I was planning a scholarship gala for my alumni association.
Okay.
And I also was the community service chair. And I was doing so much at that time. So at that time, I established the company.
Okay.
And I started to write my first book at that time. And the whole year, it was really busy. And also, I'm an insurance agent. So at the end of the year, from September through December, it's really busy because it's, ramping up for open enrollment. Right. So I established the company. I started writing my books, and I started researching because this was new to me, writing a book. It was new to me. And so I really got busy, really got focused in 2018. And also, I have a lot of books that I'm still working on. I'm also working to help my mother. She's an author as well. Oh, so I'm working with her. My 2 sisters that are writing books as well. So
we got a family of writers.
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, well, my mom's side, we have a lot of writers on my mom's side. My grandfather, I have a few aunts, 2 cousins that are authors as well. My focus right now is to finish my projects that I have, like projects that are incomplete. So I'm working on my projects and working on, like I said, my mom, my sister. So I have a full plate right now. So I will be, accepting clients soon, but trying to focus on that first, establishing myself as an author and getting people to know who I am first
Okay.
before I can help somebody else.
Okay. So are you going to are you going to use your writing skills and ability eventually just full time, or is that what you plan on doing?
That's what I plan on doing, yes.
Okay.
Eventually,
All right.
yes.
Now, what kind of insurance do you sell?
I sell health insurance.
Oh, health
individual and family. I'm licensed in property and casualty, annuities, health and life, but I'm focused right now on health insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a very demanding career, especially since healthcare reform. So that's a whole nother
Okay.
a whole nother thing. So yeah, that takes up a lot of time, especially near the end of the year. So
Okay.
because sometimes we work 12 hours, 15-hour days during deadlines. So that's very demanding as well.
Right.
So
and with all of the changes in healthcare
yes, you have to be so on top of things. There's so many changes going on, especially like we work in the marketplace for a little while, but have pulled out of the marketplace. So we just do direct sales for individuals and families, but it still complies with healthcare reform. So you can only do it during open enrollment or if someone has a special qualifying life event. So, but so it, does get really busy, especially at the end of the year during
Yeah.
open enrollment time.
Yeah. I can
Very
imagine.
intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So
Yes.
you're committed to client education and great customer service, which we talked a little bit about.
Yes.
And you said that it is a lost art. So what is great, or what you would consider great customer service to you, and how you do it?
Okay. So great customer service is listening to the pain points of the client and then providing a solution to meet their needs. Great customer service is going a step beyond that and personalizing the customer service, personalizing it and serving the customer with excellence. Because there are so many people, it's funny, that call in, even, my insurance job, and they say, you know what? I really appreciate you because you're taking it one step further. There are so many people right now that are hurting, going through things, and they call in to talk to you,
Right.
And sometimes they just need a listening ear,
Right.
Even before you get to the sale. They just want somebody to listen to them. People are going through so many things, and sometimes I just talk to them and just listen to them. And they tell me, I appreciate you listening to me.
That's right.
Because they're going through so many things. So, just listen to them. That's very important when you are looking to provide excellent customer service. Being able to listen to their needs.
Right.
And being able to provide that service with excellence.
Yes. And even and this too, being a former car salesperson, and as well myself, the people appreciate, like you said, when they would come to my desk and they would talk, and they would sometimes, that was my greatest, I should say, greatest opportunity, because you're dealing with people's personal lives. You're dealing with their credit. You're dealing with, them answering questions about their families, and a lot of confidential information. And so that was at that time my greatest pulpit, because people would tell me a lot of things and share a lot of things with me. But after the sale, the customer service really starts after the sale.
Yes.
People want to know, not how much you know, but how much do you care?
Exactly.
And so now I sold the car. So does that mean that now you're no longer my customer? No, you're my customer as long as I'm here.
Right.
And so I always provided that for people. And even what I do now, I'm a personable person. I like people. And you gotta like people to get good customer service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't ignore people, or when people have problems. A lot of people want to shun away from the problems.
Yes.
But you have to help people solve whatever problem, and you got to be willing to face whatever it is that this is, that we're dealing with. Okay, it might take some time, but we're gonna get through it.
Right. And if you don't know the answer, my thing is, if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna find out.
That's right.
It's not like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Right.
No. I'm going to take it a step further and
right.
kind of research it and
right.
find the answer, and then call the customer, make sure the customer is happy.
Yeah. And you're right. It is a lost art, particularly these young people. I think they need to just have an institute. Maybe that might be something you might think about. Having a customer service institute.
But you know what? I have thought about that. I've thought about that because, like I said, I've been in customer service for a very long time.
Right.
For decades.
Right.
So,
they need a school just for customer service, where people can go and really learn how to give people good personable customer service.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about how can authors use their books beyond just writing the book and become, as I said, authorpreneurs or entrepreneurs. So tell me, how you think people can use this.
Sure. Now, this is one thing that I always say. Your book is your business. So when you become an author, you automatically become a business person. So one thing that I did correctly. When I first started, was in the process of writing my first book, I had met someone online. Her name was Stephanie Rodness, and she had a Gollywood Girls Academy for writers. And she said, did you want to self-publish? And I said, yes. So she told me, she said, Shar, well, you need to create an LLC or create get your business legally established so you can self-publish from your own company. So your book is your business, and you can take, once you write this book, there are so many opportunities that can come to you. Like you can create workshops or master classes, covering the topics that you talk about in your book. You can create online courses. You can become a speaker and travel the world sharing your message to help and uplift people that are going through some problems. You can create a signature coaching course. You can collaborate with others like editors, graphic artists, and photographers to, offer a complimentary service. There's so many things that you can do, once you write the book. It's not just about writing a book. Oh, okay, I'm done. I wrote this book. Yay. No, you can turn this into a business. It is a business. You just have to you have to be creative, and you have to be purposeful in what you do to open up your opportunities.
And you're right. A lot of times, there are speakers, and then there are authors that become speakers because of your book. And so you go to events, and then people, because of the information that you have, and they say, well, I want you to come to my event. And so you have to put yourself out there, for one thing. You got to go to events. You got to invest in yourself. You have to be able to meet other people, other authors that are doing things, and being a part of even a group. Of authors. I mean, I met you at Sylvia Hubbard's, the Motown Writers. I met you there. And so there were other people that were there. You get a chance to meet them. You get a chance to just get some information and nuggets on how to better yourself as an author.
Yes.
And so it's just so much into it. And like you said, and it's an exciting thing,
it is.
Being an author. I mean, just seeing your book and holding it in your hands. I know the first time I got my book and I held it in my hands, and I mean, like, I'm an author.
Yes.
I wrote this.
Right. When I got my book in my hands, I cried because it's been so many years that I've waited for this moment. I'm like, oh my God, I have something to show for it. Yes. It's not just incomplete projects. I finished it.
That's right.
That was the thing. I finished it.
Right.
I started it and finished it.
Yeah.
It took some time for me to do it.
Me too.
But I finished it.
Yeah.
And that made me feel, I was so happy because, like I said, it was one of my life goals to become an author. But I wanted to become an author so I can help somebody go through.
That's right.
That was going through the same thing that I was going through.
Yeah.
That feeling, that emptiness, knowing that there's something else for you in life and you're not pursuing it. Just because I wanted to motivate professional women that was feeling the same way I was feeling. I wanted to, just talk to somebody and tell you that you can make it past this. You need to focus on the things that, God placed inside of you, because we all have special gifts.
That's right.
You need to focus on it and produce some action.
Oh, you talking my word. That's focus. So that's my word. We're going to talk a little bit about my workshop that's coming up, the Amen Sister Gathering. That's it. Focus and fabulous. And those are two things. And this other word that we're going to talk about, this big P, because I'm going to keep that out there before you, because I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to know that is holding you back from your purpose. It is holding you back from all of the gifts and the talents and skills that God has for you. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about as well. But these are some of the things that we're going to talk about in her book. So let's talk a little bit about, let's see. You said this book will help professional women identify and acknowledge self-sabotaging behavior standing in their way of success. So let's talk about your first book. Everything they didn't tell you about procrastination. That was your first. Kindle. This is a Kindle book.
Right. That's the first book.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. Then we're going to get into the skyrocket your success.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the funny thing is this book came out of me writing this book.
Oh, okay.
Because when I was writing this book, I did a study. And I asked people what their views were on success. And I asked, what are the things holding you back from success?
Okay.
And they said 43% of the people said procrastination.
That's the big P.
That is the big P. Procrastination was holding them back from becoming successful in life or meeting their highest success potential. And that was my biggest problem. Because
is it fear of success, fear of failure?
Fear of success, fear of not knowing the steps. I am like a perfectionist at times.
Okay.
And if I don't know something, sometimes I feel like, I don't want to even get into it because I'm not sure, and it makes me feel, insecure, you know. And that was fear of success, fear of starting something, and is this good enough? You know, that's that insecurity. You know, is this good enough?
Yes.
You know, but the biggest thing was a fear of failure. I didn't want to mess up. So that delayed me. It made me hold back for years, and it bothered me until I had to, like I said, I had to push myself into purpose because procrastination. Because it's like, okay, I'll do it later. But like I said, time kept going on, and I just was feeling empty. Like, you know, my job, my 9-to-5 job, it was good. You know, I was, you know, excelling on my job, and like I said, I've been a licensed insurance agent for like 19 years, and you know, did other things in the corporate world. But I felt like I was missing something, my purpose. That was like so important to me. I wanted to live this life and provide. You know, I wanted to honor the gifts that God gave me.
Yeah.
And stop putting them to the wayside.
Yes.
You know, so many people have so many gifts. They're scared because they're, you know, they feel like they're comparing themselves to others.
Other people.
And that is another thing, too, that can cause procrastination because you're like looking at somebody else. Am I good enough? Is this going to be as good as what they're doing? You know, but you have to understand that you have your own lane.
Come on.
You have your own tribe. You are assigned to help certain people, not everybody, but certain people. You are assigned to help them, and you just need to, you know, push forward and just do what you're called to do.
That's right. Your voice is meant for a certain group of people.
Yes.
It's not meant for everybody. There are people that will hear you and hear you only.
Yes.
There are people that are drawn to you because of what God has put in you for them.
Yes.
It's there for them. That gift, that treasure
Yes.
is there for them, and they're drawn to it. And so you just have to be willing to say, okay, I yield, and go ahead and just do what you're called to do, and allow, as you step forward and you step into that place, you'll be surprised. There's some things you find out about yourself that you don't even know that are within you. You don't even know you tap into some other areas. It's just like gold mining. You know, you digging, and the further you go down, you find more gold, and you find more treasures, and you find more jewels, and you find more things about yourself, and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, and this you have to just push past the fear.
That's it.
That, you know, fear can stop you from doing something because you just so scared. You know, you're just insecure about what's going to happen, the unknown.
Yeah.
I like to know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm kind of like you. You know, my CEO. You know, he has really stretched me because. I mean, he's a millennial, first of all. So we got two kind of different generations going on here.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, you know, it's like, you moving too fast. I'm not ready, you know. And he's
right.
Like,
you gotta
and,
do
you know,
it scared.
Yes.
You have to.
And so, you know, until I just yield to it and said, okay, I'm going to do it. And it was just like you said, fear of, and my thing was not knowing. I'm like you. Sometimes I'm an organized kind of person, and I kind of like want to see or take things, you know, and that's not walking by faith.
Right.
Not really. You know what
It's
I'm
not.
saying? You're not going to see everything. Some things you
Right.
just got to jump out there by faith and believe God. And
Amen.
so what if it doesn't work?
Right.
So what if you fail? So what? You
At
get
least you
up.
try.
That's it.
And you can be creative and find new ways to do it.
That's right.
Whatever the goal that you're trying to accomplish. If you fail, you know what doesn't work, so
That's
that
right.
helps you.
That's right. So and every successful person,
Yes.
the most successful person that you can think of has failed.
Exactly.
Part of success is failure.
I agree 100%.
You're not going to be successful without some failures. So you just might as well get used to it and say, hey, that didn't work. Let's make a U-turn and let's go around the other way and keep pushing.
Right.
Don't let it stop you.
Right. You
Okay?
don't learn
That's
if
right.
you don't fail.
That's right.
How do you learn?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So do you think the opposite of procrastination is focus?
I think the opposite of procrastination is focusing on a plan of action and actually
Okay.
putting that action into place.
Okay.
Yep. Focusing on action.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay.
I actually believe that is
Okay.
true.
So can you give us some tips that will help us to avoid procrastination?
Yes. Whenever you get an idea or is there something that you want to do, put it in writing. That's the first thing. Put it in writing. When you put it in writing and then you start making a plan of action to complete that goal and do something every day. Do
Okay.
little by little, because this is another thing that stopped me too, because I would think about something I wanted to do. I would think of the end result and I would get caught up in the process. I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. I would get overwhelmed. And then I would just pull back.
Okay.
So break those big projects up into little increments, step-by-step increments.
Okay.
And that will help you be more productive.
Okay.
Remove distractions.
Okay.
Distractions can be people too.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times they are.
Yes. So if you find that you are in a place where you're distracted, maybe go to the library. If you can't do it at home, maybe you got too much going on at home, go to the library, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere where it's quiet, and you can have peace of mind and finish. Remove distractions, because distractions get you caught up. Having your cell phone with notifications going off.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Phone calls.
Okay.
Shut your phone down. When you have something to do, set specific time up daily. So put that time, like schedule time. Like if you want to write, schedule time, put it in your cell phone. Like when I was in the process of writing my first book, I would schedule time in my phone. And when that time went off, because early in the mornings are really productive for me, I would set up time to get up early in the morning, even like a half an hour, and just do little by little every day. And when that clock got up, even though I didn't feel like getting up, I would get up and just write.
Okay.
So yeah, if you set up specific time to handle something, and it becomes a habit after 21 days.
Right.
They say it becomes a habit. So just do it continuously until you accomplish your goal. Just do it little by little.
Okay.
And then get an accountability partner.
Okay.
Someone that makes you work. So like if you have somebody that you respect,
They'll hold you accountable.
They'll hold you accountable for what you're supposed to accomplish. And then that'll help you. You can be, you can be their accountability partner as well. So you are, helping each other. But someone that holds you accountable. Because if someone holds you accountable, then you'll be more apt to, do what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yep. So those are some tips for
to
stop you from procrastinating.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about skyrocket your success. I like that. So skyrocket your success will help professional women identify and acknowledge, as I said before, self-sabotaging behavior standing in the way of achieving optimal success. And this book provides 10 tips to increase your success factor. So let's talk about some of those 10 tips.
Yes, let's talk about a few of them. Okay, the most important thing is to help you refocus, reposition, and reclaim your purpose is to pray and ask God for direction.
Okay.
Sometimes we may not know what our gifts are.
Okay.
Sometimes we may have known in the past, but we need them to be reaffirmed.
Okay.
So pray and ask God for clarity so that you'll know what to focus on. So I think that's so important because there's so many different things. And if you're gifted and have a lot of ability, sometimes there's so much going on and you can't focus. So you need to know where you need to focus. So ask God for help to help you focus.
Okay.
The second thing is don't share your dream with everyone.
That's right.
Because sometimes you may tell somebody, "Oh, I want to do this." "Oh, why are you doing that?" And that can cause you delay as well.
And second guess yourself.
It'll second guess yourself, like, "Am I not good enough? Why am I doing this?" So that's another important thing. Another thing is just know that your journey is as unique as you are. My journey is not going to look like your journey. Okay? Stop basing what you want to do in life by looking at somebody else. You have your own gifts. You have your own road to follow. So stop focusing on what everybody else is doing and focus on your gifts. Focus on what you love to do, what you're called to do. Focus on that and you'll get a lot further.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And the last tip I want to share is invest in yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
If you need help doing something and you don't know what to do, find somebody that has been successful doing the same thing that you want to do and see if they can mentor you. And it may not be for free. Sometimes you have to pay.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the thing. A lot of times people want to look for free. Free can only get you so far.
That's right.
If you want to level up in excellence, you must find someone to help you, an expert. And if you have to pay for coaching, pay for coaching. Since I started this journey, I've had probably about 3 or 4 coaches.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
is
like
where
you
I
said,
am. Yeah.
you need to learn something new. Don't be afraid to take a class.
That's right.
We don't know everything.
That's right.
I'm always learning. Since these last couple of years, I've been embedded in learning online, doing listening to podcasts, reading scholarly journals about different things. You have to be open to learn. Because that's going to get you to the next level.
Yeah. I know. And for those of you that, and Shar, right here, just share your website or telephone number or whatever you want to share your personal information before we get too far.
Sure. So my website is www.shar, SHAR, Halliburton, HALLIB, like boy, URTON.com. So it's sharhalliburton.com. And also you can find me on social media at Q like Quashar, D like Detroit Publishing, QD Publishing. I'm on Instagram all the time. That's my favorite social media platform, QD Publishing. And also my business line is 248-629-0813. Again, 248-629-0813.
Okay. And when you were talking about investing in yourself, because that's one of the things, like where I am, I'm at the point where I am, trying to seek out the right person that I feel that I fit with, as far as a mentor, and some of the things that I know that God has taken me into, the direction that He's taken me into. You guys got to excuse me because, I've been suffering with this, sinus infection. Excuse me. And so I am at that point now. That's where I'm looking at. That's where I'm planning on going. And so you have to be willing to make an investment in yourself. Right. I want to be able to even travel to some of the cities that some of these events are out of town. So, but I'm willing to do it because I think it's worth it for me to be able to do it, to do what I believe that I'm sent here to do, particularly sitting in front of this mic and bringing you the kind of information that I believe is going to be a blessing for your life. So I'm just saying to you, that is, like you said, free will only take you so far, right. But you can invest in, even looking at the podcast that they have on Facebook and some of the other places where you can get some free information. I'm always looking, even though they might give you just a certain amount of tips, but even just those tips can help you do what you're called to do. And so those are free. So when you're on the web, look for some of the podcasts, enroll in them and, look for them and, get into some of those things that can help you expand yourself. Because the only way you're going to grow, the only way you're going to go to your next level is that you have to expand yourself and you have to be willing to look for information.
Yes. So
that's a very good point, in terms of trying to make sure that you are on point and that you're keeping up with, whatever is going on, that's relevant right now, because you want to stay relevant.
Right. You stay on top of your industry. Know what's going on in your industry. Right. Knowing what's going on in your industry helps you stay afloat. You can talk about just about everything. So always, look, Google. Whatever Google can be your best friend. I've learned so much from Google. So, every now and then Google whatever you're trying to learn. Right. Because there's always something new that's coming up.
That's right. All the time. And guess what? It'll keep you fresh. It'll keep you, seeking and driving forward, because you can get to a plateau sometimes, and you can get to a place where, you're at a plateau and then you feel like you're stuck. So this will keep you driving forward and keep you moving and being motivated in what you're called to do.
Yes.
And staying relevant and on top of the industry that you're called to. Okay. Yes. All right. So let's talk about, you got another anthology.
Yes. This is Living a Non-Negotiable Lifestyle. This was just published the beginning of June. Okay. And basically it's like 20 different authors. We're talking about living a non-negotiable lifestyle, my life, my dream, my ambition, my success. On your road to success. Okay. What are your non-negotiables?
Okay.
One of my most important non-negotiables is I said to myself, I'm going to follow my intuition.
Okay.
For so many years, how something comes up and you just like, okay, put it to the side. I wanted to follow my intuition. My chapter is called On My Terms, a non-negotiable commitment to excellence.
Okay.
So whatever I do in life, I want it to be excellent. And in this chapter, I created a creed of excellence. And I just have like a virtual worksheet that will allow you to create your own creed of excellence. So I just talked about I have like 7 steps to level up in excellence. And let me share a few of those with you. Okay, so, this is a very important one. Create a productive morning routine. Most successful people get up early while everybody is asleep.
Okay.
Creating a productive morning routine, and most successful people start with prayer or meditation, reading and motivational books, affirmations, just to get them going. And this is a very important tip, do the hardest task first.
Okay.
Yep. So create a successful, productive morning routine that gets your day started, and you're moving forward with whatever you have planned for the day. Another thing is embracing the importance of quality self-care. We get so involved in trying to, become successful. We forget about our health.
Yes.
We forget about our mental. That's another thing. You have to make sure that you are healthy mentally. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of people forget about that part. Just like you get sick in your body, you can get mentally sick, and just know that those resources are available for you. Just like, so I'm an insurance agent, and most plans now, because of healthcare reform, it has to include mental health services, outpatient mental health services, so that you can get help that is there for you. If you need to talk to someone, if you don't want to talk to your family and friends, know that you can talk to somebody.
Yes. Because
Because mental health is so important. If you're not together mentally, everything else is going to fall.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's another thing. And share another thing. Be authentic.
Yes.
In order for you to be excellent, you have to be you. You can't be a copycat. Because there are so many people that are successful. I'm like, I admire this person. But you don't have to be that person.
That's right.
You are a star.
That's
you
right.
know? So you have to be who you are.
Yeah, be the best
version
of
yourself.
Yes, that's it.
Exactly. The best version of yourself.
That's right.
Because if you're being fake.
That's
it. And if you're not being fake, you're not going to tap into your excellence.
Yeah, that's right.
So you have to be
you
authentic.
can do a thing a certain way, but I want my experience of it. I want to experience it my way.
Right.
And like you said, be the best version of yourself. I mean, God, you are wonderfully and uniquely made.
Right.
Okay? You can't be anybody any better than being yourself, regardless of all your flaws. And guess what? The most perfect person that you think, they have flaws too.
Right.
And so you can't be any better. You can't be being any better than being yourself. And when you do that, your flow comes a lot easier.
Yes.
You can flow in the gifts and the talents and the skills that God has for you, because you're doing it according to the way He called you.
Right. And sometimes people may be obsessed with watching somebody else on social media.
Yeah.
You don't know that they're having a mental breakdown before they're in front of that camera. You don't know what people are going through just because they're smiling and everything's pretty. You don't know what people are going through. A lot of people are going through in their minds. They're going through in their families, but they have a face of everything is fine. But a lot of people are going through things that we don't even know about.
That's right. Absolutely. And mental illness is really right now. It is, I believe, it's really at a height.
Yes.
Where you hear a lot of people that you don't even know, or you wouldn't think, why would that person have mental illness problems? Because it's so much, just not only your personal stress, it's just the stress of living
life
right now.
Yes.
Just life right now. So
we
want you, as you said, mental health is so important. And I'm going to have someone that I'm going to bring. I just got to find the right person that we're going to be talking about that, because I see that while I'm out there on the web. I see a lot of people talking about mental illness and just really, just walking the streets every day. People that you don't even suspect or know that have mental illness problems. So we definitely want you to take care of your body, eat healthy, exercise, whatever it takes for you to be able to be the best version of yourself.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to talk about, Shar, that you wanted to share before we go? And
I just want to say I am on Instagram a lot. I have like live master classes. I talk about things
Okay.
in my books. I give you steps to write a book.
Okay.
And pretty soon, hopefully before the end of the year, I'll be having my group coaching program available for those who want to write a book. But if you want to start out, take a look at my Instagram. Q,
Okay.
like Quashar, D like Detroit Publishing, QD Publishing. I have a lot of resources and tools on there. So to get started, I go live and go through some of the steps to writing a book. And my IGTV channel which is like a YouTube on Instagram.
Okay.
I have a lot of, different like short classes, and I teach, different things about writing a book. So, take advantage of free resources that are available.
Right. Absolutely.
Do your research, see what's available, and then, if you want help, take it to the next level, talk to somebody that's doing what you want to do.
Okay. Well, we have certainly enjoyed Shar. You are so full of resources and information. We congratulate you on all
you.
of the things that you are doing. You are resourceful. You are moving, and you are doing, and you're in your lane.
Yes.
You're in your lane doing what God has called you to do. And I just
Praise
see
God.
you doing this just as full time. As things go on, I mean, traveling and workshops and speaking engagements. And so I just see a full-time business coming out of this.
Praise the Lord. I'm excited. I see that in the future too. I don't know when it's going to happen, but
it's
when
going to happen.
I'm going to be ready when it's time.
It's going to happen. Amen.
Amen.
Well, we certainly thank you all. Of course, I want to talk a little bit about it. Didn't have my book in front of me. Shame on me. But you know about Amen, Sister. That has been my book that I wrote, and I've had my party, my book signing party. I'm still celebrating. I'm still out there. I'm still doing events. And so for those of you that haven't gotten Amen, Sister, which is a book of my journalings, my losses, my success, and my victories, okay? And I want you to get it. It is a book that is for women to encourage and to empower them. And it is a book of faith to the faithless, love to the loveless, life to the lifeless, and positioning you to win. Because you're a winner, women. You are a winner.
Yes.
And we are going to be having, out of that developed, the Amen Sister Gathering. And so we're going to be speaking to some of those things that Shar talked about, which is your purpose and all of the things that we believe. God gave me one word, which was called self-actualization. Okay. And so that means that you come into the realities and the fulfillment of all of your gifts and your potentials that God has inside of you. And it's a drive and a need in every individual to reach that place where they know who they are and what they are called to do. And so it's just incumbent upon me as a midwife to help you to birth that gift, to birth that call, to birth those gifts and talents and all of the things that you are called to do in the earth. And so that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm called to do. We're going to be talking about some of those things that keep you. Procrastination is one of those things. Fear. And to, when we talk about all of those things, we say, as the Lord has shown me, who told you all of that? Who told you you weren't smart enough? Who told you was too old? Who told you didn't have enough knowledge in it? And if you're scared, do it scared. A lot of things that I've done scared.
Yes.
But I did it because I knew that's what God was calling me to do. And so we're going to be talking about all of those things because that is stealing your God-given identity of what you are called to produce in the earth, okay? Don't die like Miles Monroe said, the greatest or the most productive place in the earth is the graveyard. Because you have so many people that have died with their gifts and their calling and it came to fruition. So we don't want you to be one of those. So you have people like Shar, you have people like myself that are here to help you. So don't let the enemy steal your God-given identity because that is called identity theft.
That's
Okay.
deep.
That's
Right there.
identity.
That's a book. That's a conference.
Okay. That is identity theft. Okay. And you can go to jail for identity theft in real life. Okay.
Right.
So in the same sense, you're allowing the enemy to steal your identity and your God-given gifts and your God-given talent. And he is committing fraud. Okay. I'm going to let that sink.
All right.
He's committing fraud against you and what God has called you to do. And it's time to stop it and put him in jail where he belongs. Okay?
Amen.
So this is what this workshop is called, the Amen Sister Gathering, and you have to get your tickets. Please don't wait, women. That's what we do, procrastinate, and we wait because it is a limited seating. I wanted it to be intimate, so I'm only having probably about maybe at the max 40 women. So we're going to be getting into some nitty-gritty issues, talking about some of the things that we need to do first to get whole so we can move forward and we can get some momentum to do the things that we're called to do. So you got to register. My flyer is up. You can go to my Facebook page and you'll see tickets are only $35. We'll have a lunch. We're going to have fun. We're going to be talking. And if Shar has some time and she want to come by, I invite you to come by. And, we're just going to really get motivated, get actualized. It's time to stop praying. It's time to stop confessing. It's time to move. Action. Okay? That's what we're there for. Not to motivate, not to inspire, but to activate. Okay? So we want you to come, and we'll be looking forward to you. Thank you so much, Shar.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yes. It was
I enjoyed this.
Oh, amen. It was my pleasure. And we thank you, those of you that have been listening. Pray for me that I can get over this sinus infection because I'm tired of it. Okay? So I believe in healing. I'm healed by the blood. I'm healed. Yes. I claim that. So anyway, we will see you again next week. We have Mr. Poet that will be coming. We'll be talking about poetry and how poetry is a gift that you can use as well. Okay?
Amen.
So we'll talk to you next week. We'll see you next week. God bless. We love you so much. My Marketplace Saturday morning connectors. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
This is Prophet Blaine, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.